Hear you facing this trashy bar. Where you wanna go? I am all about adventure times. Another drink and I'll go anywhere. The way you smile, flash in the universe. You are illuminated in the bar light. I don't really mind all the who goes doing stage dives. I don't care at all, baby. You got my attention. So you were saying, I don't see the logic of things that we're living in. Oh, baby, you are so tense when you're next to me. Humans spinning in circles, we're fighting for days, stuck in a phase. I think we're losing the reason. One word is all it takes, babe. Bursting out in cold flames, breathing, we are catching fire. Thought that we were wiser, go and light the match, babe. Miss out on the good days, breathing, we are catching fire.
Well, hello there, everyone. Hello, and welcome to today's Facebook Live, all about what it really takes, what it really looks like to create and launch a digital course. I'm so excited you're here. If you're new to my Facebook Lives, my name is Amy Porterfield, and I help entrepreneurs take their knowledge, know-how, and skill set and turn that into a profitable digital course that they can launch over and over again to create consistent revenue. I've got my sidekick here, this way. This is Scout. He's alive. He's just resting. He likes to get just a little bit in the frame. Anyway, I want to just say right off the top, boot campers, if you are one of my digital course boot campers, we still have another live training coming today. It's at 11 a.m. Pacific, and I'm going to be in the bootcamp free group, and I'm going to be teaching you the 3 different types of digital courses. So if you're a boot camper, this is just an extra video today that I'm doing on my Facebook page, an extra training, but you still have another training coming, and it's at 11 a.m. Pacific. Be there. Don't forget. And for those of you who are like, wait, what? What's this free boot camp you're talking about? Digital course boot camp? Yes, I have something extra special going on right now. I'll just tell you about it right now because so many people were asking about it in the comments. So the boot camp, it's a free 30-day digital course Kickstarter. If you've ever thought about creating a digital course and you want to see what actually really goes into it, well, for 30 days, I'm doing free trainings on how to choose a course topic, how to choose a course type, how to choose a course price, how to launch a course. We're getting into all of it inside my free Facebook group, and it's a boot camp for 30 days. So amyporterfield.com/bootcamp. That's where you need to go. If you want to get in it, it just started. It's free. All of my free trainings are recorded in case you missed any. amyporterfield.com/bootcamp. Go join if that's something you want to do. But today, what we're doing is we're getting into what it really takes to create and launch a digital course from scratch. And because I am live on my Facebook page, one thing that I do to keep you all engaged is I do random Amazon gift cards. So I want you totally engaged in the comments. Sometimes I'll look down at the comments, I'll see something like, Allie, you have been very vocal from the beginning, in a great way. I mean, very engaged. So you get an Amazon gift card. So Allie, you're going to go to support@amyporterfield.com and tell him you won an Amazon gift card. It's a $25 Amazon gift card. Put it toward whatever's in your shopping cart right now. But we do these randomly. And Allie says she's a boot camper. Oh, I love this. She says, I'm in the boot camp and it's amazing. I'm learning so much. Can't wait for Digital Course Academy. That's DCA. Digital Course Academy is not open yet, but it's coming. And so I love your excitement. Okay, so Allie, you win an Amazon gift card. Support@amyporterfield.com. I've got more to give away, my friends. So if I call your name out and say you win, that's all you need to do. Email my support. Okay, so this is what we're doing today. I'm really showing you a framework. I have been teaching digital courses for many, many, many years. I've created 8 successful digital courses, and I've generated over $40 million in digital course sales. Since I left my corporate job with Tony Robbins and started to create my own digital courses, now I teach people how to create theirs. I know a thing or two when it comes to creating successful digital courses, and I love to share what I know. And today I'm going to share with you a framework, literally a big picture of what it really takes to create and launch your digital course. So that's what we're going to get into today. And because I know that a lot of you like to take notes, if you're anything like me, you like to make sure you have all the details. So instead of having to take notes, I make you workbooks. So amyporterfield.com/workbook2. That's all you need to do. Although that feels like a weird, is that the right one? Hold on. I feel it probably is. I should not even second guess this. But let me see. I would think workbook 2. I would think it's a different number. So hold on. No, that is wrong. Okay, so I think it should be workbook 5 to be exact. So hold on. amyporterfield.com/workbook 5. Let's see if there's something there. Oh yeah, there we go. I just had a typo on my slide. So amyporterfield.com/workbook 5 is exactly what I'm teaching you here today. And you're going to want to go grab that because it will actually give you the framework I'm going to teach. Sorry about that, guys. Okay, so successful entrepreneurs have 2 things in common. 2 things in common. Come a little closer. This part's really important. Don't start multitasking now because I want to make sure that you walk away understanding these 2 things that successful entrepreneurs always have in common, especially those that create digital courses. So the number one thing is they have simple businesses. By simple, I mean that they're not trying to do 20 things at once. They're not trying to do all these different things like spinning plates in the air so that they're not good at any of it. They're just kind of okay, which means they're not generating a lot of revenue from anything. That's what typically happens when you try to do too many things. So what I teach my students is to create one digital course and launch it over and over and over again. Let me give you a perfect example. So this is Lydia Martin, and I'll go full screen here. Lydia had a 20-year sales career in corporate, but she wanted something new and needed more flexibility, more freedom with her schedule. So she created a course to help online business owners utilize technology to free up their mind space and their time. So she created a course helping business owners utilize technology to free up their mind and their mind space and their time. Check this out. You need to pay close attention to this slide here. Remember, I teach people to create one digital course and launch it over and over and over again. So her first launch, $9,000. That's a lot of money. Second launch, $11,000. Third launch, $13,000. Fourth launch, $18,000. Fifth launch, $28,000. $80,000 generated in 15 months. This is the stuff that I'd love to share. But here's what's even more important. Check this out. She says, thanks to DCA, which is my program that I teach you how to create courses, my course sales are now on autopilot, meaning it's happening when she's not even showing up. And I've been able, this is the part I love, I've been able to replace my corporate job completely from my digital course business. Meaning she doesn't have to work a corporate job anymore, and she's been able to make more money than she actually made in corporate. How crazy good is that? I mean, so good, right? Okay, so the second thing that successful business owners do most common, like the most common successful thing, is they become known for something. I want to go full screen real fast here because if you want to be known for something, if you want to be the leader in your industry, if you want this one topic to come up and people are like, boom, that's your name, then you definitely want to double down on creating a digital course. The coolest thing happened when I put my timer on before I go live. Let me see if I can find it. I already put it up here once, but I just thought, this is what I wanted to share with everyone. Hold on. Just give me a second. I don't know if I'm going to be able to find it, but the fact that I have proof that I literally, hold on. Just give me one more second. I'm scrolling. Like, what is she doing? I'm scrolling through all the comments right now. And let me see if I can find this gentleman, because it will make more sense if I show you what he said. I can't find it. Okay. So I saw this guy in the comments when I was just sitting here, and he said, hold on. I think I'm so close. He said something about like, is this where you learn how to create digital courses? And then his next line, he's never met me. And his next line said, I heard she's the best of the best at digital courses. Something like that. And I thought, that's exactly what I want my students to feel. This guy does not even know me, but he's heard that I'm the girl to learn from when it comes to digital courses. And when I saw that, I thought, my students, this is what they want in their niche too. When that topic comes up, dog training, how to lose weight when you hit your 40s, how to have a sexier relationship with your husband or wife, whatever it might be, that when that topic that you teach comes up, boom, your name gets added to the conversation. So that's the thing that I think is so incredibly powerful with digital courses. So let me give you another example. This is Giselle Wade, and her dream, she had her dream job of growing a multi-million-dollar toy line before she launched her first course. So she had this dream job. She worked in the toy industry, and then she decided to launch her own digital course, teaching people how to create and launch their own toys. So she teaches aspiring entrepreneurs how to develop their toy concept and get it in front of the right people in the toy industry. So now she is known as the Toy Coach. First of all, how cool is that? The Toy Coach? That's like a cool thing to be known for, right? She generated 5 times her investment in my program. So she invested in my program. Her first course, she generated 5 times that with her program. This is the stuff that I love to share because I'm guaranteeing that the people who create digital courses before you do not know of the success that's waiting on the other side. They just have the courage to take the leap. And I know you have that courage as well. So I wanted to share with you the course creation and launch framework because what I promised you is that I would take you behind the scenes. And I want to take you behind the scenes so that I can share with you exactly what it looks like to do all of this, to create a course, to launch a course. So I'm taking you behind the scenes to actually show you what that's all about. So are you ready? Okay. So the first thing is that you're going to make 7 key decisions that will help set you up as ready to actually get into the course creation and launching phase of your journey. So there are questions like, what is your course topic? What type of course are you going to create? How are you going to price your course? How are you going to deliver your course? What does your launch look like? And that's where I mentioned the bootcamp at the beginning of this video. That's where I'm going to be getting into all the things that you need to decide before you get going. So if you're in the bootcamp already, give me all the emojis in the comments. I'm going to do some Amazon gift cards in a minute. And if you're going to join the bootcamp or just join, say, I'm in. Because the bootcamp is where we make those 7 key decisions. So amyporterfield.com/bootcamp, I'm going to kickstart your course creation journey for free. That's what I'm doing over the next 30 days for free. It's so much fun. We have prizes and surprises, and I do free trainings and free Q&As. You might get sick of me because I'm in that group a lot. Okay, so Tammy is already in the boot camp. You get an Amazon gift card just for jumping in. Thank you, my friend. And let's see here. I'm going to do I like this one. This one, I just saw it. Francesca, you get an Amazon gift card because you're going to join the boot camp today. You're getting in there. I'm going to be looking for you. So we're doing a free training today in the boot camp at 11 a.m. Pacific, and it's all about the 3 different types of digital courses you can create. I won't get into that today, but that's what we're doing in the boot camp. Totally free. I'd love you all to join me. All right, I have more Amazon gift cards, so stay with me. So the second thing, let me tell you those key decisions again. Course topic, who you're going to serve, course type, name, price, how you're going to create your course, and your launch dates. Like, how do you choose your actual launch dates? These are decisions that we're going to make in the bootcamp. All right, so the second thing is you're going to validate your course idea. Give me a yes or all the emojis if you've ever thought, what if I create a digital course and nobody buys? Or worse yet, what if the only person that buys is like my mom? That's a scary thought, right? What if you create a course and then no one buys it? Well, what we do in my program is we make sure that you validate your course idea. We make sure that you put out a course that people will spend money on. So I share some strategies of how to get that ball rolling. And the first thing you need to do, the simplest thing to do, is start asking your audience where they're struggling. What has them stuck? What do they desire? You've got to get into conversation with your audience. That's the first big validation step. There's other things you can do, but that's the first thing every one of you should be doing, asking your audience where they're getting stuck. You could do a poll on Facebook. You can do a poll on Instagram stories. You can just ask people, are you struggling with this or with that? Or you could say, hey, DM me and tell me your biggest struggle around XYZ, whatever market you're in. So ask them what they're struggling with. Now, the next thing is to implement a founding members pre-sale strategy. This is exactly how I teach how to create and launch a course. So what you're going to do is you're going to float the idea by your audience and actually take some money. You're going to get some founding members in. A lot of my students like to give a 50% discount to the first 10 people who buy their course. Now, notice we haven't created the course yet. We just put together the idea, the outline, what we're actually going to create, and then we're floating that idea out to your audience saying, hey, I'm thinking about creating a course about XYZ. Here's what I teach. Here's what I plan to teach in the course. If you're interested, you can be the first founding members. I'm taking 10 students for 50% off the price. Let me know if you're interested. I'll send you a link to sign up. So that way, once someone starts to pay you, that's the ultimate validation. Okay, from there, then you're going to get into even more detail for the outline. Now you're going to start doing like a brain dump. You're going to start thinking about the stories you want to teach and the examples you want to share and the step by step that you'll teach it. Now, I got to go full screen because I got to tell you, a lot of people will say, Amy, I'm not even sure how I would teach this. I've never taught this before. Or maybe you're a coach or a consultant and you think, I work one-on-one with people. That will never translate into me creating a digital course for a lot of people. Oh, let me tell you, that is not true. So many of my students have worked one-on-one. They're coaches, they're consultants, they're service-based businesses. And they've hit a ceiling. There's only so much money you can make when you do one-on-one work. So if you hate doing the one-on-one work like I didn't want to do it anymore, you can move away from that completely and create a digital course so that you can reach you to many, your audience. But let's say you love the one-on-one work. Let's say you love working with your clients. Then let's take only the clients you love. Consider maybe charging a premium price for what you do because it's going to be exclusive now. You only take a certain amount of clients a year and then supplement the rest of your revenue with a digital course. If you have a framework for how you teach someone one-on-one, I guarantee you can make some tweaks and some changes to that framework so you can teach it into a digital course so that a lot of people can get value from it. Because remember, in a digital course, it's still you teaching somebody on the other side of that camera. And so you're still talking to one person. You might not get that feedback so instantly, but there's ways that you can work around that. Have an open mind right now. Right now, you're just dreaming. Right now, you should get excited about the possibility of your digital course. I promise you, you've got a digital course in you and you can move from one-on-one into a digital course. Now, the next thing that I want you to think about is crafting your offer. So once you fully outline, I have to darken. Hold on. People are saying my screen's a little too, that's darkening me. I don't think I can darken. Oh, no, that's totally me. I don't know how to darken my slides. We're going to have to work on that, guys, for the next one because I don't know what to do. And I don't want to mess it up either. So let's see. Let me try one more thing. Nope, I keep darkening myself. Okay, so we're going to keep going. So the next thing is that you're going to craft an offer. So the offer is like, what are you going to sell in your course? And then maybe some bonuses that you want to offer. Actually, let me go full screen one more time here because one of the things that I think is so valuable for those of you who teach one-on-one is that you can actually add a bonus where they get a one-on-one coaching session with you. So you still get to engage with your clients if you want to, with your students of your course. You can offer small group coaching sessions along with your digital course. You can offer one-on-one coaching sessions with the digital course. My very first, very successful digital course I had 100 people in the course, and I offered all of them at the time we did Skype. I'm old school, so I've been around for a while, but Zoom wasn't even on the radar yet. And I offered Skype calls at the beginning of the course with all 100 of my students. Now, that might seem a little bit intense, but it was over a few weeks and we only did 20-minute calls and they went pretty quickly. So I did them over a few weeks and then I got to know my students at a deeper level. So when I delivered the course for them, it was like precisely what they all needed. So there's a way to actually have that connection with your students still, even beyond just offering it in a course. You could do some one-on-one. Now, after you put together your offer, you're going to create your sales page. So you're going to create a page that talks all about your course and, more importantly, the benefits of your course, what they're going to get out of your course. So that part is so important because you want to put together a sales page that speaks directly to them. And if you start talking to them now and understanding their pain points, you can really bring those pain points to life on the sales page so they know that your course offers a solution. And then once you create the sales page, you're going to do a webinar. Now, if you're scared to do a webinar, stick with me. I am definitely your girl. I have done hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of webinars. I know what works and what doesn't work. I can teach you how to do a webinar. I'll teach you slide by slide by slide how to do a webinar that converts, that will literally sell more courses than any other sales vehicle out there. So a webinar is a way that you can connect with your audience. They can see how you teach. They get to know your personality, and you can teach them as well as sell to them. So a webinar and a webinar registration page, easier than you think once you've done a few. I promise you that. So when I teach a webinar, I do a 3-step profitable framework. So the promise, the path, and the promotion. So the promise is I talk about what's possible for them if they were able to get a result from the challenge that they're having. And then in the webinar, I show them how they can get those results. And then I promote my program at the end. So whether they buy or not, they walk away feeling excited and inspired and driven to take action. And if they want to learn how to get those results with me, then they can join my course. So this is what I teach people when I teach them how to do webinars: the promise, the path, and the promotion. So stick with me longer, and that's definitely something I can teach you how to do. Now, from there, I teach my students how to create an email sequence so they can email their audience and let them know that they have a course for sale. And they can email their audience and let them know they have a webinar coming up. So again, if you're just joining me a little bit late, this is how I teach how to create and launch digital courses. This is literally the framework to make it happen. And so I'm just giving you a big picture. You don't need to understand it in detail just yet. I just promised that I wanted to give you a big picture here. Once you write all your emails, write your sales page, write your webinar, it's time to launch. So over about a 10-day period, you're going to do some webinars inviting people into your digital course. You're going to post on social media, inviting people into your digital course. You're going to write some emails, inviting people into your digital course. For 10 days, you're going to make it all about how you're going to solve your audience's biggest pain point, and the solution is your course. Now here, if you're multitasking, come back to me. This is the part that's really important. Check out what the last thing is that you're going to do. What's that last thing? I'll go full screen because I know my slides, I guess, are a little bit blown out here. The last thing you're going to do is record, edit, and upload your course. Record, edit, and upload your course. And the reason why this is the last thing you're going to do is I have taught how to do digital courses for almost 13 years now. And what I've learned along the way is my students want to make sure that they can make money before they put the time into creating and launching their course, or creating their course, I should say. So I teach people how to launch their course and then create the modules week by week and deliver them week by week after people buy. So let's say for 10 days you launch your course, and let's say 20 people enroll in your course. A week after that, you're going to launch Module 1. And then while Module 1 is launching, you're going to be creating Module 2, and then you launch Module 2. And a week later, Module 3, a week later, Module 4. It doesn't matter how many modules you have, but typically it's week by week by week. That way, you don't have to create the entire course before you even know if somebody's going to buy it. So I teach how to launch first and then create the course second. And believe me, it creates a lot less overwhelm that way because you can just settle into the fact that you have students and now you're creating courses for those students. Okay, I want to get into some frequently asked questions about my framework. But before I do, I also want to tell you about the bootcamp. So hold on, let's go here. amyporterfield.com/bootcamp. It's happening right now. It started last week, but you can always catch up. So amyporterfield.com/bootcamp. I want you in there right now. Go join the bootcamp because this is where I'm going to dive into some of the details I shared in that framework today. So if you're like, okay, I've got the big picture, but like I want to make magic. I want to make things happen. This is where you go. The bootcamp's free. It's for 30 days. amyporterfield.com/bootcamp. Get started today. I actually have another training in the bootcamp today all about digital courses. And we do so many fun things. So definitely get in there, amyporterfield.com/bootcamp. We're going to have a good time. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to take some questions. Now that you know the big framework, and I'll actually go back to the framework. Oops, I hit the wrong button. Let me go. Oh, well, that's not the button. Don't worry, team. I got this. There you go. So I know that it also is kind of blowing it out a little bit. So hopefully you can see it enough. We're going to have to figure out our slide issue here. But Diamond, you get an Amazon gift card. I just looked down and she's like, I'm in the boot camp. Whoop! I like the extra excitement at the end. I'm so glad you're in the boot camp. That's so good. Let me just see. I saw... Oh, I love this. I was getting overwhelmed about recording videos. Thanks for guidance. That's really helpful. Yeah, you don't have to record all your videos before you actually launch your course and make money with it. I think that's something that should ease a lot of your overwhelm, anyone who's feeling it, because we can just do this step by step. So when you look at this big framework right here, you might be like, whoa, that's a lot. Well, we're not doing all of that at once, my sweet friend. We are doing this step by step. We're doing this slowly. So you do not need to tackle all of this at once. That's so important for you to know. Okay, so let me get to some questions here. Lindsay says, I want to launch a smaller, more niche course while I dream up the bigger one. Is that a mistake? Lindsay, that's a great idea. Okay, so I want you all to know there are 3 types of digital courses. 3 types of digital courses: starter course, spotlight course, signature course. In the boot camp today at 11 a.m. Pacific, in the boot camp, so you got to go in the boot camp, 11 a.m. Pacific, I'm going to break down each of those courses, what you put in each of those courses in terms of how much content, and what you would charge for those 3 different types of courses. That's what we're doing in the boot camp today. So amyporterfield.com/bootcamp, get your buns in there. Julia says, is there a big difference between doing live webinars and pre-recorded? Does it affect customer buying? I've personally only purchased from pre-recorded ones. Oh, well, Julia, that's a great thing because I was going to tell you that typically when you're live, there's a higher perceived value. Like right now, I'm live with all of you. It's 11:27 a.m. in Nashville, Tennessee, and here I am live with all of you. If this was pre-recorded, some of you would think, well, she's not live. Maybe I'll catch it later. But when you're live, people are more engaged. They're paying attention more. There's a little bit more energy with a live webinar. And so what I tell my students is let's do a few live webinars and then move into pre-recorded webinars. So I like for you to experience the live energy and get the opportunity for a higher perceived value in your webinar, which tends to mean more people will buy. When I'm live, I have a lot more sales on my webinars than if I'm doing pre-recorded. The great thing with pre-recorded is you could actually run a pre-recorded webinar every day in your business, so you're making money every day, so it starts to add up. But usually with live webinars, it's a live launch, so that's where you do it for like 10 days. You could do a pre-record webinar in a 10-day launch. I would just rather see you do it live. I do think you're leaving money on the table if you don't. Okay, so let's see here. Lindsay said I had 40 people sign up for a free webinar and a demo of my course. Hold on. Is that validation of a good course idea or no because it was free? So it's a great validation that 40 people wanted to sign up for this free webinar and get a demo of your course. But I think the ultimate validation is when someone will put cold hard cash down to be a founding member before the course is created. So I would love to see you go that little extra mile in terms of validating the course idea, but sometimes people don't want to do a pre-launch, and that's okay, or a founding members like pre-sell is what I mean. And if you've done a lot of one-on-one work and you've gotten great success, your business is really strong with the one-on-one work and you want to move it into a digital course, sometimes you can skip some of the validation because your idea, your framework has already been validated with paying clients one-on-one. I'll still encourage you to do a little validation, but you can do less. Brad says, is there a minimum size you recommend for your mailing list before you launch? 250 subscribers. I always encourage my students, like when I help people create digital courses, I always include a module on building your email list because most people that are building their digital course with me also need to build their list. And it's a whole lot easier to launch a course when you have at least a small email list. I have success story after success story of people that have launched their digital course with 250 people or sometimes even less on their email list, but it is a good benchmark to go for. So you can start creating your course and building your list at the same time, but I like that 250 mark. Courtney says, can I launch a course without a Facebook Live group component, or do you highly recommend adding this to your launch? Oh, for sure. I even encourage some of my first-time students to launch their digital course without a Facebook group the first time. So what Courtney's talking about, and I'll put this up here. Hold on. What am I doing here? Why is that acting funny? Hold on. Give me a second. There we go. Okay, it was acting funny. I'll put the bootcamp up here. So So for the Facebook group, a lot of times when people launch a digital course, let's say, so Digital Course Academy, it opens up on September 21st, and I do 10 weeks of a private Facebook group with all my students. And over those 10 weeks, I'm live in the group Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, answering all of their questions. So I go deep into my Facebook group for those who are part of my course. But I've also been doing this for almost 13 years. So if I were doing my first course, I would not do a Facebook group, but instead I might offer office hours on Zoom, or I would do Voxer, where I would do office hours, and on certain days and times, people can send me a Voxer and ask me their question, and I can send them a Voxer back, which is just an audio answering their questions. Or you could do a Slack channel. I teach a lot of different ways to answer questions for your students without having to do a full-blown Facebook group, which might be overwhelming for a first-time course creator. Great question. Melissa says, is it possible to launch a course that somebody else is already doing? Yes, definitely. Here's the truth, and I got to go full screen with this one. The truth is that everything you want to do, this is not just for Melissa, I'm talking about all of you who are here right now. Everything you want to do is likely already been done before. It's likely already been done before. And heck, there might even be a digital course on it. There probably is. Nobody has ever done it the way you do it. Nobody has your stories and your teaching style and your character. Nobody has what you have. And there's enough for everybody to go around, meaning I live in abundance. There's other people who create how to create digital courses. There's other people who do what I do, and they do it well, but they don't do it like me. And so I just keep my head down. I put blinders on. You know, race horses, how they have the blinders so they can't see left or right. I put blinders down. And I run my own race. I do my own thing. And I do it to my best of my ability and don't worry about what anyone else is doing because I know I do it well. And when you put your head down and you do your thing, you're going to start to get success stories. I have hundreds and hundreds of success stories from people who have created digital courses with me and had great success. So now that I have the success stories under my belt, I know that I have the confidence to keep moving forward. It starts with courage. You do it before you have the success stories of tons of students. And then that courage turns into confidence when they start getting big results with what you've taught them. Yes, you can create a course even if it's been done before. I encourage you to do so. Angela says, do you have to build brand awareness or trust before putting out the initial polls? No, it's okay if you're just starting out. I'm assuming you mean like you're just starting out. You don't have a lot of trust with your audience yet because you're new on the scene. So that, but you want to ask them what their challenges are and what they need. You can still ask questions. Asking questions doesn't mean that you're actually giving tons of advice just yet. You're just trying to hear from people and understand where they're at. People love to be seen and heard. Polls, asking questions, allow you to do so. Okay, is it bad, Claire says, if I don't want to be on camera? Is there an alternative? Yes. Are you ready for it? Slides and audio. Exactly what you're seeing here, Claire. I encourage my first-time digital course creators, and I have a lot of first-time digital course creators in my audience. I encourage them not to do a lot of on-camera teaching. Instead, I encourage them to do slides like this and audio so that they don't have to be on screen like this. So this is what I call talking head. I've made over $1 million in the beginning with my first few digital courses, never getting on camera like this. So definitely slides and audio is what I suggest. And maybe if you're so bold, if you don't like being on camera, but you'll be courageous, maybe a welcome video. So the first video is like, hey, my name is Amy. I'm so excited you've joined my program. Let me tell you how you're going to navigate through it and what to expect. And then blah, 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 talk a little bit. Then I'm off camera. And now it's just slides and audio just like this. So yes, by all means, I want you all to hear you do not need to be on camera a bunch. Okay, so let's see here. I need to move this. I'm going to jump just into the comments really fast. Hold on. Okay. I see you, Coach Glitter, Tiffany out there. Tiffany's a dear friend of mine, and I just did a video with her last week. We had so much fun. Let's see here. I'm just checking. Okay. All right. I was just checking to see if you're all in the comments. I'm going to ask a question. We're going to do some Amazon gift cards, so get ready. Hold on. Get ready. Okay, so the question I have for all of you is, if you were to create a digital course today, what's the topic that's kind of on your heart? What's the topic that you'd love to teach about? You don't know if it would work yet. You're not totally validated yet. You're not sure. But if you could just go for it, which we're not going to do that. We'll always validate first. But I want to go with your gut first. What's an idea you have for a digital course? Now, for those of you on right now, check the comments and see what everybody else is sharing. Because if you're stuck and you're not sure, you might be inspired right now by somebody else. Now, some of you have like 5 ideas for a digital course. Just give me one. And I just saw one that pops up. Robin, you get an Amazon gift card. You were the first one I saw. Author mindset. I actually love that because I'm writing my first book and it's scary in my head what goes through, like the imposter syndrome. It rears its ugly head when I'm writing a book. Like, am I sure I'm ready to be doing this? Nikki, you get an Amazon gift card. Camp cooking basics. How to cook meals outdoors your family will want to eat. I love this one. Love it because I've been on many camping trips where I might have lost a few pounds because the food was so gross, because I don't know how to cook outdoors. So this is a great one, and that's really fun. You could do some really fun things. I already see the branding of your digital course with the cookout and the camping. Really fun. All right, keep the ideas coming. I want to see all your ideas for a digital course. And in the boot camp, we share different ways to hone in on that perfect idea. So in the boot camp, you can really hone in on your idea if you're not too sure. Rebecca says, how much time should I dedicate during my launch? I can adjust my primary job hours and I want to ensure I'm giving my best effort. So if you're going to launch, this is a great question, for 10 days, I'd love to see you being able to maybe even take a day or two off from your full-time job in order to do a few webinars where you're just kind of, if you could take some vacation days in advance, you're centered, you're not overly stressed, you're not trying to do 100 things at once. The days you're going to do maybe your webinars on the first few days of your 10-day launch, see if you can take the full day off. From there, it's just a few hours a day checking in, maybe doing some Facebook Lives like I'm doing today, getting in your DMs, talking to your potential students, answering questions. Could be just a few days. But if you had the luxury, I would love for you to be able to like fully focus on the first few days. Benjamin says, how do you know those 250 subscribers on your email list are really your target audience? Some people just like free content. It's true. Some people do like free content. So one of the things that I teach is how to create a course-focused freebie. So once you come up with your course idea, I then teach my students how to create a cheat sheet, a checklist, an audio freebie, a video training freebie, maybe do a 10 or a 5-day challenge freebie, whatever. But the topic of your freebie is perfectly aligned with what you want to give away or what you want to sell in your course. So they're fully aligned. So number one, you're attracting the right type of audience. And the way you move them from just freebie seekers to someone who wants to do business with you is you engage with them. You start to email them every single week. Maybe you do a podcast and you send them a link to your podcast every week. Or maybe you go live on Facebook, so you send them a link to that. But you engage with them every week. You start emailing them, telling them stories and insights so that you have a relationship with them. So that when they're ready to solve that problem that they're facing, you're the only name that comes to mind. So yeah, we all have freebie seekers on our email list, but I have very few because I have a relationship with those. They hear from me on a regular basis. They listen to my podcast, Online Marketing Made Easy, which reminds me there's a podcast episode waiting for all of you on Online Marketing Made Easy, especially I'm going to go to it really fast. I'm going to give you a number that I want to share with all of you. On my podcast, I did an episode for those of you who want to really hone in on your topic. It's episode 393. So amyporterfield.com/393. That's all you have to do. amyporterfield.com/393. Go listen to my podcast episode. It's called Course Topic Inspiration. 6 students, success students of mine, share how they found their topic. And I think you're going to get a lot of insight. Also, the episode right before that is called One-on-One Coaching versus Digital Courses, What's Best for You? So start listening to my podcast, Online Marketing Made Easy, if you want a little extra training and help you to decide if you're ready to create a digital course. I think you're going to love it. Okay, Crystal says, how do you create your own authority? You create original content weekly. So I really do believe down the road, maybe you all aren't ready for this, some of you aren't ready for this, but I believe having your own podcast like I do, or your own blog, or your own video show on YouTube, whatever it might be, creating original content allows you to become an expert and known in your field. Like what I'm going to teach in the bootcamp at 11 o'clock Pacific, I'm going to teach the 3 different types of digital courses. That is my own original content that I've created based on my own experiences of creating successful digital courses. It's a way for you to compartmentalize what exactly you're going to create and start creating content around it. Original content puts you on the map. That's how you become an authority. Angie says, is there a marketing plan to sell the course that is not expensive to do? Yes. So a lot of my students, Angie, are on a shoestring budget. A lot of my students don't have a lot of money for software, don't have any money to spend on Facebook advertising or Instagram ads or anything like that. So they rely on the organic traffic. So what I teach in Digital Course Academy is definitely a plan that doesn't require a lot of extra money to make it work. So to answer your question, yes, there is a plan that plan that I laid out in my slides here. Let me go back. This plan right here will not require a lot of money to make it work. So the answer is yes. Okay, let's see here. How long should a paid course be? How many pages or hours of content? I'm sure it varies, but is there a minimum? So Brad, there's not a minimum. In the bootcamp today, I'm going to answer the question about, does the type of course you create dictate how many modules and lessons you should put in your course? And to give you a hint, the answer is no, but I'm going to explain that a little bit more. But typically, I will say, to give you a minimum, most courses have at least 3 modules. And under each module, you might have 3 to 5 lessons. Now, the lessons can be short 10-minute videos, but typically most courses have at least 3 modules with a few lessons under each module. That would probably, I do take it back. There's probably a minimum, and I think that would be it. Now, there's always those outliers that might be shorter than that, but that's pretty normal. Let's see here. Julia says, is it a good idea to launch and deliver my first launch in Facebook as opposed to setting up my course on a paid platform? So Julia, one of my star students, Danira, I talk about her all the time. She's the one who created the Caramel Candy Apple course. And for her first launch, she had never launched something big like this online. She made $62,000 teaching people how to create caramel candy apples. And she did deliver it live. Like every training she did was live in a Facebook group. So it is possible. It's not the way I teach it, but a lot of my star students just break the rules and follow my framework and then do it their own way. So yeah, you could do that. How do you decide what should be a freebie versus just a podcast or a blog post? This is a great point. So let's say you're going to do a podcast episode. Let's pretend that you are a marriage counselor and you help couples have stronger marriages, communicate better. So you could do a podcast all about 3 different ways to communicate better with your partner. But then a freebie would take that further, and it might be 5 different ways to communicate with your partner. And then you have an exercise for each of those ways and show them what they need to do and have them go practice it. So typically a freebie, a cheat sheet, a checklist, a guide, whatever it might be, typically a freebie is something that's meatier, something that allows people to really dive in at a deeper level and feel like they accomplish something. They're not just taking in information, but they're doing. Now, you want it to be easy to digest. You don't want them to take 2 weeks to get through one of your freebies. So it's easy to digest and it makes people feel like they got a quick win. Okay, Roxanne says, what would you suggest? Would you suggest teaming up with others for a free webinar? I wouldn't. I think you can do it alone, Roxanne. And I think that teaming up with others likely, and I don't know you, so this might not be you, but typically we team up with important things like that because we're scared to do it on our own. I don't know, maybe I'm talking from experience. And so I really do believe if you're going to do a webinar to sell your course, do it on your own. Have the courage to stand in your own and say, this is what I'm going to teach. This is how I'm going to add value, and I'm going to sell my digital course on my own. And I really do think if you do a few, you will feel so much more confident in your ability to deliver on a webinar. It just takes time. Okay, David says, does recording style matter that much? I can't decide between basic sitting in front of a computer, sharing slides versus standing up in front of a camera, pointing to the actual screen in the recording. So I was saying earlier, David, that I think that if you're a first-time digital course creator, more slides and audio than you in front of the camera will likely mean you get it done faster. And I think there's a lot of value in showing slides because people can see what you're teaching. But if you're comfortable on camera, David, I'd love to see you do both. I'd love to see you have a welcome video with just you on camera, helping people navigate through your course and what to expect. And then when you teach, you can do slides and audio and then maybe jump on camera and maybe point to whatever it is that you want them to see, or maybe just have them see you so there's a little bit more personal engagement, and then go back to slides. Doing a little bit of both is a great idea. So now all the courses I have, I'm on camera and I use slides. I do both throughout all of my lessons. And I think both are valuable. Anne says, let's talk about webinars. How long should a webinar be? So typically webinars are anywhere from 60 to 90 minutes. 90 is if you start to attract a bigger audience, which you will over time, and people have a lot of questions at the end, which is a great sign that you did a great webinar. And so I typically stay on for a full 90 minutes or longer just to answer a bunch of questions that come in at the end. People are asking questions about my course or questions about what I taught. But typically what I'll do is I'll do 45 minutes of pure teaching and just loving up on my audience and giving value. So no matter if they buy or not on my webinar, they walk away feeling excited and inspired and driven to take action, no matter if they buy or not. And then from there, for about 15, 20 minutes, I'll sell my digital course. I'll tell them what's included, what they get, what they can expect, the results that are promised, the price, the payment plans. I'll tell them everything. And then I'll go into live Q&A. And typically, because my Q&As are longer, that's when I get into more of the 90 minutes. But that's typically how long a webinar should be. And I know what will come up when I say that. Some of you will think my audience will never stay on a 60-minute webinar. Well, I can promise you that if you get really good at a webinar, yes, they will. And if you want to do a shorter webinar, by all means, give it a shot. I love when my students experiment with basically time frames or how they deliver or what they're delivering. But what's most important is that you first have the framework. One of the things that when I worked for Tony Robbins that I learned that I will never forget is that if you want to get really good at whatever it is you want to do in your business, if you want to sell digital courses, if you want to speak on stage, if you want to write a book, whatever it might be, always find somebody who has gone before you and model their framework. Because the death of an entrepreneur is always starting from scratch, always beginning again, always fumbling, trying to figure out how to do it because you've never done it before. Just because we're entrepreneurs doesn't mean that we know how to start anything and everything. All of us need some guidance. I always need guidance. So when I'm going to do something new, like right now I'm writing a book, my very first book with a big publisher. I'm very excited and very stressed out about it. But the first thing I did is I called up my dear friend who has multiple bestsellers under her belt, and I said, show me the way. What's my first step? What do I need to do? What do I need to look out for? Where are the roadblocks that are going to happen? Who do I call? What do I do? Like, I called someone who had gone before me. I have gone before you. I know the way to a successful digital course, and I would love to teach you how. I'm doing this for free as a digital course Kickstarter for 30 days for free in my bootcamp. If you haven't done so already, amyporterfield.com/bootcamp. Because this framework that you see on the screen right now, we're getting into the very beginning of this framework so that you know the decisions you need to make to create a successful digital course. I would love to see you in the bootcamp. amyporterfield.com/bootcamp. Okay, so I'm going to answer 2 more questions and then I'm going to hop off. So here we go. Destiny says, is it important to do a beta test or test it out before charging? Not if you pre-sell it. So the way I teach it, I call it a founding members pre-sell. I learned this from my dear friend Stu McLaren of Tribe. He teaches this strategy. So as long as you do a pre-sell first, you don't need to beta test. But if you want to beta test, I encourage my students to do so. And I've got free resources in my actual course to teach them how to do it. But you don't have to always beta test. And then let's see here. Should I start the lead magnet before launching a course to build the list? Deepanjali asked this question, and I love this question. Should I start the lead magnet before launching the course to build the list? Yes, most of my students will create their digital course, create the launch, create all the assets while they're growing their email list. So I always teach list building as well as digital course creation in the same program, Digital Course Academy, because I know most of my students don't have an email list. So yes, I love the idea of starting to grow your email list right now so that when you eventually launch, you have people to sell to. Great question. Okay, so here's my promise to you. If you can show me that you're willing to do the work, if you can tell me or show me that you want to really create a digital course, if you want to get in the trenches and make it happen because you're looking for more freedom, you want more financial freedom, time freedom, creativity freedom, lifestyle freedom, a digital course can do that for you. But of course, you're going to have to do some of the work, right? To help you get started, that's where my bootcamp comes into play. amyporterfield.com/bootcamp. So go there now. Do not forget to sign up right away. I'm doing a training today in the bootcamp. And then next week, next Tuesday, I'm actually going to be back here, right here where I am today on my page. And I'm going to be sharing the 7 most critical digital course decisions that you need to make. And I'm going to be breaking it all down. I am one lucky girl to be able to connect with you today. I appreciate you being here. I know your day is busy, and the fact that you spent it with me means the world. So thank you so very much for being here, and I cannot wait to see you soon. Hopefully, I'll see many of you today in the bootcamp. Bye for now, and have a wonderful week. Talk to you soon.